Morning. I would want you guys to share with me the experience you had in going through this assignment. What were the setbacks? What were the high points? Did you learn something? What were the challenges? So we're about 14 on the platform, so each one, I think 13. So each one should share his or her views. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right. That's what each and everyone is going to talk, so you cannot hide, please.
Okay, sir.
Go ahead.
All right, sir. Good morning, colleague. On our presentation, we actually did disaster preparedness before it happens, and I learned a lot from it. That as a government in Ghana, we should prepare before any disaster, but we should not rather wait till disaster happens before we start running helter-skelter to move here, bring this, bring that. It wouldn't help us. Now, in my presentation, I made it clear of where we should have fuel hubs that will help us. If not this presentation, I wouldn't have known about where we should even have fuel hubs that could even help us during disaster. So this presentation has taught me a lot that at least in Ghana, there are advantage points where we can have our fuel hubs, where when there's disaster, we can fall on those hubs and then we can go for fuel as well to be able to move around. Secondly, I also learned about how we should move uh, materials and people from where disaster is actually happening from. At least it has taught me that at least when there is disaster, when we plan ahead, we have vehicles available that can move people and dedicated vehicles for institutions to be able to move them around or move them to where there is disaster. So I think, Doc, so far, this has been the learning point for me. Thank you.
Yeah, good morning. Yeah, I also learned during our research and doing of the assignment that we can also put crosses in our procurement processes so that any future occurrences, either be of a natural disaster, the crosses can help us to achieve our goals. Like the one you were telling us that you have to be in a relationship with them, discuss like 4 years, 10. So along the way, even if something happened, it will not much affect you due to the clauses that you put into the contract from the beginning. Thank you.
Hello?
Yeah,
Hello,
Isaac, we
Doc.
can hear you.
Hello?
Okay. Yeah, good morning.
Just go ahead,
Good
please.
morning. Okay. Yeah. I was like the way Ni Amati was feeling. Actually, I was so surprised because of the for the results that I had. I was thinking anytime there's a disaster, this NABGO guys go there. I mean, just offer an assistance. But I didn't know these are all the measures that they are, I mean, is being put in place for them to be able to achieve their goal or their aim. For instance, in procurement during the disaster or being in an institution which is responsible for disaster management or any occurrences that needs the emergency, application of the emergency team. For instance, procurement, instead of them to go through all the necessary procurement procedures that are being laid down, going through the Ministry of Finance, because it is a disaster management team or an entity that is responsible for emergency services. They bypass all these procedures. I also learned that the advance that are being allocated for specific mission, then there should be a rescue point, there should be communication gadgets that will relay information. There should be facilities at the port. For the port, for instance, last week I couldn't do my presentation on the port because of the time constraint. But I learned that, for instance, when you look at the KIA cargo session, if there is any procurement or of vaccines that need to be cleared, we need not to go through the normal custom procedures. There's a procedure we call pre-entry procedure. We do that before we do a post-entry clearance. So in an emergency situation like this, you need not to go through the custom validation so that through the icons that you'll be validated or the values or you go for Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Health for a clearance letter. But in this case, you can bypass all this process and then your goods will be cleared. Then there are the ports of entry, like the Tema port and the Takoradi port, which I was looking at the Tema port, that the congestion process, that means we should need to put in place measures that will facilitate the easy clearance of emergency equipment in case there's disaster. For instance, like the AT, for instance, if there's a donations coming to your port of your port, what are the measures that you need to put in place? So I think it has really helped us wherever we find ourselves as logistics and transport. Managers or officers will be able to answer such questions and those things. So thank you very much, Doc. I'm grateful.
Hello, good morning, Doc. This is Evans. I also learned about risk assessment in terms of emergency transport management, in terms of disaster. Like looking at the US, Israeli, Iran conflicts, which is ongoing. I learned about the infrastructure and environmental vulnerabilities that comes with the closure of this transportation corridors. Also looked at how the conflict affects or has an impact on African fuel supply chain. Additionally, I learned about how medical supply chain risks occurs as a result of the conflict, where there is disruption in this supply chain. Medicines are short in supply, and even looked at some early warning indicators, which is the rising global prices in oil, as well as ships being rerouted through the Cape of Good Hope, South Africa, and having so much financial impact on shipping lines. And also learned about how we can map up strategies to mitigate this supply chain disruption. Thank you very much, sir.
Oh, good morning. For me, the last presentation that we did actually really opened my eyes to a lot of things. especially in this part of our country, Ghana, especially how prepared our national agencies are. It's before the only point I know is that if there's anything happening, people would have rushed to the scene, the fire service team. But with the presentation that we did last time, I realized that they actually, our problem here is that they don't coordinate. In as much as, I mean, they are there, they need to actually coordinate, especially calling on each other. But for this part, I mean, our country, I mean, Ghana especially, it's so bad. You know, they want to work separately. I don't know whether they want to take the glory, I mean, upon themselves alone or something. But it's actually important that they have to coordinate and actually find solutions to all of these things. So my one key thing I've actually learned is that preparedness is more than just reaction. We must be willing to invest in pre-disaster planning, not just response. We need to put more and also coordinate amongst ourselves. If there's need for actually calling for other agencies like the NADMO, maybe even the Ghana Police Service, they also have a team that can actually help so that when they arrive at the scene quickly, things can naturally be resolved so that it doesn't become worsen, where lives will be lost and other things. Thank you, Doc. Thank you so much.
Yeah, good morning, Doc. Please, I have sent you a message, a private message. I'll be happy if you could kindly look at it for me, Doc.
Okay.
Good morning, Doc. Last time, our group represented on impact of the Iran-Israel-US war, and I learned about the Strait of Hormuz and the corridors, the sea corridors that passes through the Middle Sea. And just yesterday, no, on Friday, Iran lift its ban. Like Iran opened the Hormuz, and yesterday it closes it back. But due to the war, Iran has the higher leverage, so it used its leverage to close the sea to have an impact on the global oil economy, which we Africans, we are striving to get oil, and it's lifting the fuel high. But I don't know what happened between those two parties. And I want to know how Iran opens the sea and closes it back the next day. That's what I learned.
Are we done? The guy who says he sent me a message, I can't find a message.
It's a private message, though.
Yeah, is it on
Zoom? On the same platform. Oh,
Okay, so you can leave, boss.
thank you, though.
Yeah, who else?
Hello, sir.
Hello.
This is Emmanuel Usudia speaking, sir.
Yeah.
So I think before we did this presentation, in fact, I had not come across the phrase humanitarian air bridges. And as we presented and I came across that particular information, I had to further inquire about what it means. And I think it has opened my mind. And I also realized that understanding how operational aviation events propagate across airlines passengers and networks requires combining operational expertise and advanced analytics. And then also, I also realized that in emergencies, importance is placed on saving lives, not the economic benefits. And also opened my eyes about the available corridors that can be used as alternatives to the normal routes. Little did I think that some areas like Ghana could also be used as hubs for medical assistance. But I think doing the entire presentation has opened my mind to a lot of things that I would have glossed over. Thank you, sir.
Hello, sir. Good morning. Hello.
Oh, proceed. Proceed.
Yes,
I
sir.
don't.
Good morning. I'm Gloria Adai, sir. Throughout our interaction, I've learned a lot about emergency transport and logistics. Sorry, my voice. I lost my voice. I've realized that the emergency transport it starts before the crisis occurs. Because if there's no planning, then when the emergency occurs, there's nothing you can really do to stop it, especially with the ongoing crisis, where shipment is not being allowed. There's no shipment into the destinations. I learned that, okay, so when shipment doesn't come, me as a medical logistics officer and a pharmacist, I rely solely on shipment for export into Ghana before I distribute into our military sector. Now, with the abruptly when shipment is not being brought in, it means that we should have found alternatives in order to be able to continue to provide healthcare to the public. Also, so the supplies like vaccines, blood products, and other medicines must be handled well, and the cold chain must also be still the cold chain must also be still going on. So for now, I have been able to come out with a plan where I can be able to make a proposal for the military in
All right.
case of.
Are you done? Miss, are you guys done? Who else? Are you guys done? Hello?
Give us the prompts. I think dog is dropped off.
Are you guys done? Are you guys done? Hello? 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 Are you guys done?
Doc,
Hello?
Alberta is still talking. Doc, please, Alberta is still talking.
Okay, I better go ahead.
Okay, so we spoke about the technological aspects of when it comes to pre-disaster. So I just understood the fact that irrespective of all the other measures that we put in place before the event or the disaster occurs, we also need technology to back whatever that we are doing to be able to effectively plan properly towards the event that would occur. So we need something like data coordination, institutional cooperation, and then cybersecurity preparedness. So with the implementation of the various, let's say the GIS, and then the other technological tools that would help, like detecting the event before it happens. It all comes together to help us when it comes to pre-disaster planning. I think I learned other things as well, but I will just mention this few. Thank you.
Are we done? If you have not spoken,
Hello, sir. Please, this is Dogbachi Alfred. Myself, last week, I wasn't able to do the presentation, and you.
so you are the one who has to do the presentation.
Yes, sir.
But has everyone spoken? If you have not and you're also not responding, you are doing yourself. Okay, so you can share your screen and you have 10 minutes to do the presentation. You are supposed to be in which group?
I'm in a group with Emmanuel. Emmanuel Usu.
Group 4, sir.
Okay, so do your presentation.
Very much, sir. Once again, my name is Dogbachi Alfred, and I'm going to present on international air disruptions and humanitarian logistics due to the Israel-US-Iran conflict. One may ask, what is the situation? What is happening there? So this is to give a brief overview of what's currently happening in the Middle East, the situation there. The Middle East is a bridge. The aviation corridors of the Middle East connect continents, and the current situation, the conflict between part of the Asian countries, which is Iran, and including some of the Gulf nations, Israel and US, is actually having a great impact on the global market at large. And my presentation is going to focus on how it is affecting air transportation and humanitarian supply chain. So this is how it is affecting the airspace disruptions. First of all, we are looking at a situation where the airspace of the Gulf nations and then also, the Gulf nations having their airspace closed, and then also logistics professionals having to reroute their flights due to the closure of the airspace. It is causing a lot of impact on the global space. Airlines and logistics or fleet managers are being forced to reroute flights through longer and less efficient corridors, which is increasing congestion in alternative routes such as the North African and the Central Asian countries. This is also resulting in increased fuel consumption, longer fleet duration, and reduced schedule reliability. So if you can look at the picture on the screen, you would see the aeroplanes which are in yellow colors rerouting using longer longer routes, which in one way or the other going to increase their fuel consumption, and then also increasing reducing schedule reliability. You can also see civilians stranded. It was in the news that the former vice president of Ghana was stranded in Dubai due to the closure of their airspace. Some other celebrities were also stranded due to the closure of the airspace. So that is how intense that is how intense or how impactful the airspace closure was to civilians and their movement. So proceeding to the safety risk. Missiles, and then air defense systems, unsafe civil aviation zones, flight suspension increase. Now, civil aviation cannot safely operate within the contested airspace, leading to widespread of flight suspension. Airspace have also transitioned from the commercial transit space to a conflict-dominated battle space, which is significantly reducing the accessibility for civilian and humanitarian flights. Let us just imagine, because there are air defense systems being activated in that zone, when a civilian flight sets off, the moment the air defense systems identifies it or identifies it, it will automatically set off a missile. Mount a missile to bring it down. So it is making the space very unsafe for civilians to operate, civilian flights to operate. Also, this is how impactful it is on the operations, where fuel consumptions has become higher. Also, insurance premiums has also increased, and then also reduced. The capacity of airlines have also reduced. Operational cost has increased significantly through higher fuel consumptions and war risks insurance premium. These pressures has reduced the number of available flights and increased air freight cost, limiting access for humanitarian cargo, which must compete with commercial flights for shipment. So a typical example is where a medical product is supposed to be, let's say, a medical product that is urgently needed in the northern part of Ghana. It's supposed to be shipped from India to Ghana, but due to the airspace closure, it is going to reduce. Like how the urgency of it can't be achieved because of some of these changes. And then talking of cyber threats, cargo tracking disruptions, delayed humanitarian response. These cyber, there are a lot of cyber attacks, which is targeting aviation systems, including air traffic control and cargo management platforms. They also disrupt coordination and reduce operational efficiency. There is loss of real-time tracking and communication system is also particularly critical in when we are talking about cyber threat. So parties involving in the conflict also attack their opponent using cyber threat, attacking their communication systems, trying to disrupt it, and all of that. So also the impact on humanitarian supply chain So there's delayed emergency supplies, like I already stated, where a medical product is supposed to reach affected patients in the northern part of Ghana, but due to the conflict, the products can't get there in time. There's also reduced access to crisis zone and shift to slower transport modes. So air transport is essential for rapid response logistics. Disruptions lead to delayed delivery of critical supplies, reduced access to affected population, and increased reliance on slower land and sea transport. This significantly weakens the effectiveness of humanitarian operation and increase the risks of preventable mortality. These people who are in the northern part of Ghana who are supposed to be injected with some of these vaccines that are being imported from Ghana, because of the delays, they may not get it in time, and we may record mortality and things. People may die of and stuff because there are children in the northern region who takes anti-polio vaccines. And if these vaccines delayed as a result of this kind of conflict and things, it is going to increase mortality rate and all of that. These are some of the strategies that we can use to, preparedness. And we are talking about alternative routing, pre-approved African corridors, dynamic flight planning systems, regional airspace cooperation, pre-arranging agreements with airport authorities, airlines, and government agencies to ensure priority landing slots, rapid customs clearing, and dedicated landing facilities during crisis. These hubs would coordinate urgent airlift operations, enabling fast movement of relief supplies and personnel to hard to reach or affected areas. Strategic locations such as
1 minute more. 1 minute more. Wrap up.
Sure. There are some strategic locations that we can talk about. That is we can use either the Northern Africa, Central Asia, or West Africa as alternative routing. And then humanitarian air bridges, pre-positioning supplies in Africa, dedicated cargo aircraft, fast tracking custom clearance. And then also the medevac systems, where medical evacuation requires secure and coordinated air corridors, specialized aircraft equipped with intensive care capabilities should be deployed, and also supported by integrated communication systems, which will link hospitals and emergency responders, and then aviation operators. Regional hubs should also be created to establish in order to stabilize patients before long distance evacuations are done. Air crisis management, the use of secondary airports, temporary cargo terminals, and then mobile refueling systems.
All right, time up. Time up. Okay. So you can unshare your screen. And I can begin the review from you. I was expecting that because you've been given the time and you were alone, the flow should have been there. It appeared that even though you had very good slides, your presentation was I don't know whether it's your speaking style, but it appears to be, a little bit of disconnection. Because when you're doing presentation, you say we want the fluency. You get it? And that's why most time for presentation, you either go and then rehearse, then you come and do it. Most of the speeches you see John Dramani Mahama giving, he does rehearse also. He doesn't speak as extempore. He does not rehearse us. All of us, we do the same thing. There's no speech I deliver. Even when I'm being called on the spot to deliver something, I have to use like 5 minutes to organize my thought. Or they say I should speak in the next 2 minutes. I have to organize my thought and see what I want to say and make sure I'm able to flow. All right. So I don't start speaking and get to a place where I'll break and then later the gaps in for either air or be thinking of what I want to do the next. So I gathered that you did not get yourself well prepared. You get the point, and you may have to look at that and present. You see, when you speak, whatever comes out of your mouth, the first 30 seconds, that's what is used to assess your fluency. People judge you by intelligence by that, because most times when people are speaking, either some might turn themselves, their ears off, or might be listening to something, but when they hear the first speech of yours, it should really tie them down, and they should be interested that they want to really, listen to you. I chaired a program. Guzitano asked me to chair a program for a certain group. He was there. The reason why they asked me to chair was Guzi was coming and was going to deliver a speech, and then he would leave. Because I was the chairman, I needed to accept, give my opening remarks and accept. Now, because of what I said, Guzi didn't leave. He stayed till we closed. I think about 2.5 hour program, right? Because after he'd given his speech, after I've spoken, he gave his speech. But I think that he was convinced that, no, what does this guy say? And then when I gave my closing remarks also, he was asking one other guy, is this the guy you were talking about? To say yes. So he wanted to listen. So the things that comes out of your mouth when you speak first is your first impression. All right? And that is very, very, very important, because people will not wait till you get in the middle before you articulate your views very well. And that is very, very important. That's why I was telling you that the other group that, last week you were not here. I think you were here. Maybe you came late. The way they started the whole thing, as if they've done some rehearsal for drama, right? And that's actually what they did. So sometimes somebody might not be very intelligent, but when it comes to presentation, the person is able to present very well. And that becomes that becomes key for that person. So just to give you this feedback, but I want to play what we did last week for you to listen to yourself. I don't know, I shared one of the videos. I don't know if you guys saw it. So that you listen to yourself whether you did well or you didn't. Whichever is the case, so
Evans will be sharing it.
can you hear the sound?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Evans.
You have to tell your group members. Yes.
Yeah, he's aware, please. We are all on board.
I've shared
Meaning
it, sir.
Abena.
Okay, so I've seen it. Let me see. All right, so let's wait for Niamet. If your group should be ready for the next. '20. 7:17.
No.
So at 7:20, 444. We have the group members are more than 20. But yet I think we have exactly 20 people on the call now. Akofa, I'm not going to admit the rest. Right? So you guys should start. So you have 10 minutes. Start your presentation.
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir.
Well,
Yes, sir. This is Group 1. Good morning, sir, and good morning, colleagues.
who is the one speaking now? Who is the one speaking now? Hello? Hello?
Sir, please, is the
Hello,
group leader, Mr.
Evans
Mr.
Edudanso,
Evans
sir.
Edu. Yeah.
Evans, okay.
I am Evans Edudanso. With me in Group 1 are Gloria.
Is Evans here?
Yes, I'm here, sir. I'm here, sir.
Listen to yourself.
Yes, sir.
By Tony Kusi, Apiedu, and Akofa Watajo. Our presentation will deal with a strategic transport risk assessment. We are looking at the impact of Iran-Israel-US conflict on global and African logistics. Our presentation focuses on a strategic transport risk assessment of the potential conflicts involving Iran, Israel, and the United States of America and its impact on global and African logistics networks. Global trade and humanitarian supply chains rely heavily on Middle Eastern transport corridors. If these routes are disrupted, it could significantly affect fuel supply, medical logistics, and transportation costs across Africa. Our study therefore evaluates critical transport corridors, infrastructure, vulnerabilities, risk probabilities, and possible mitigation strategies. Our aim for this presentation is to assess risks and propose mitigation strategies. In doing so, the presentation will cover as shown on the screen. Critical transport corridors, risk assessment framework, infrastructure and environmental vulnerabilities, its implication for Africa fuel supply, and then medical supply chain risk, as well as emergency transport planning model, operational mitigation strategies, early warning indicators, and then some recommendations for policy drawing. Now let's take a look at the critical transport corridors. This highlights global maritime choke points that are essential to international shipping. The important corridors or shipping corridors include the Strait of Hormuz, Bab el-Mandeb Strait, Suez Canal, Red Sea routes. The Strait of Hormuz alone carries a large percentage of the world's oil exports. If conflict escalates in this region, shipping traffic may be restricted or rerouted, leading to increased transportation costs. So large share of global oil passes through these choke points, and if disrupted, can affect global trade and as well as shipping costs. So these are a few images of the streets that I've mentioned, the shipping corridors that I've mentioned. You look at the Strait of Hormuz, Bab el-Mandeb Strait.
So for Evans, you have probably a very good voice pitch. I mean, very heavy voice. I don't know physically if I guess that this voice will not go with a short person. Should be somebody who is tall.
They're very tall and huge.
Ah, okay. So this voice doesn't go with a short person. So what it means is that if you are doing a presentation and you are in front of people, your height and your everything and your voice pitch command certain level of, it will command people to listen to you. What you should be very mindful of, you see, you were explaining, but it appeared that you were reading. That's what you should avoid. You get it? Aha. So you are not reading on the slide, but it appeared that you were reading from a script in presentation. Okay?
Yes, sir. Sir, it is because of my training. I'm a military officer, and that is how we go through our presentations. When you do the PowerPoint, you have to come up with a script to let's say go through the presentation. That one saves more time than to speak to the slides.
Okay, so but we are not in the military here. This is academia. You get it? Aha. But
Yes,
in
sir.
real life, I mean, look at presentations, what people, do. Sometimes you speak extempore without looking to anything. But if you must look through something, in your presentation, you don't make it look like you are reading. You get it? That's the point I'm raising. There's nothing
Yes, sir.
wrong in that, but you didn't read everything from the slide, which is perfect, right?
Yes,
Because
sir.
the slide is just points.
Yes, sir.
But in presentation, it appears you take the point on the slide, and then what you are presenting, it appears that you are reading. You get it? So that is
Yes,
what
sir.
you should avoid. But
Yes,
otherwise,
sir.
the intro and how you get the people organized, you mention your name and then mention the topic, and then how you navigate through the slides, that's okay. Fluency is very, very important, and I've given you guys a chatbot. You can use it and train yourself how to speak, right? Fluently.
Yes, sir.
I told you,
Yes,
if you
sir.
keep an article every day, it sharpens your what do you call it? Your ability to speak fluently. Okay. So
Yes, sir.
take note of that. You have to do a
Yes,
lot
sir.
of every day. Anything you see, read and learn something from. I used to do this when I was in when I was in SSS. What we do is every day I pick like 5 words, right? 5 words from the dictionary. And I write a sentence with it, and then my small notebook. And I try that as much as I'm speaking to anyone in English, I try to use that sentence, right, in the sentence. That was in SSS, right? So at a point in time, I had a lot, about 2,000 vocabulary on words and their meaning and how they should be used and all that. And that helps in terms of when you want to speak. Okay. And it's not too late. Say there is AI. There are even software that can help you do training for 5-10 minutes a day on how to be very fluent, because your speech tells people who you are.
You look at the Suez Canal, the Red Sea routes,
3 minutes gone.
and the global maritime choke points are also shown here.
So
Additionally, let's look at fuel supply. Many African states depend on medical
Are transported through global shipping.
okay, so we're going to move to the next person.
Good
Six-
morning.
6 minutes more.
Good morning, sir.
Mhm.
I'll take the asthma.
So who is this person? Who is this lady?
Gloria Dyke, sir.
Is she here?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
My colleague said, check the medical supply risk chain. Healthcare.
medical
Hello,
supplies
hello, sir.
chain.
Hello.
Hello, sir. My audio went off. That's so I'm Gloria Dye, and I'm speaking on the medical supply chain risk. As it says, essential medicines rely on global logistics chain. What we mean with the distraction that we are seeing the international war between Iran and Israel and US. Examples of how we should be able to anticipate
Gloria, are you
disruption.
there?
Yes. Can you hear me? Hello.
Good
Gloria,
morning.
6 minutes more.
Good morning, sir.
Mhm.
I'll take as my colleague said, check the medical supply risk chain. Healthcare logistics systems are highly sensitive to transport disruptions.
So this is still Gloria, right? Is it Gloria? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir. It's still Gloria, sir. Sir, Gloria speaking.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Hello, Doc.
I am here. I'm asking if it is still Gloria speaking.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Therefore, many essential medicines and pharmaceutical raw materials are transported through global shipping networks. Disruptions of these canals or choke points will definitely impact on shortage of essential medicines, delays in vaccines delivery, interruptions in hospital supply chains. International organizations such as the World Health Organization depends on reliable logistics networks to deliver medical assistance during crisis. Therefore, with all this we have said,
this will impact on our medical supply chains globally and in the African supply chain system.
So, is Gloria here?
Yes, sir.
So, Gloria,
Hello?
what do you
Hello?
what do you do?
I'm a pharmacist. I'm also with the military.
Ah,
I'm the medical logistics officer.
okay.
Yes, sir.
So, go ahead. And then what? Are you used to doing the presentation?
Sir, I was supposed to be in the hospital, so I'm still trying to, but I'm able to do presentations. Sir.
But I'm saying that
The day we did this, yeah,
is this something you do? I mean, you normally do presentations?
not often. I'm very I'm dealing with the ground logistics about providing medicine for the hospitals, trying to get peacekeeping supply materials, medical oriented materials for peacekeeping. I also
Okay.
do education, but not in the presentation form.
So, I mean, your strength is that you are very fluent. That is one. Two,
Yes,
you speak with confidence, right?
yes, sir.
Aha.
Yes, sir.
Immediately you took the floor. I mean, any supervisor or any lecturer, I mean, the impression is that this lady knows what she's talking about, right?
Yes, sir.
And that is what I'm saying. It rather blinds your weaknesses.
Yes, sir.
Because the voice pitch was good. And let me give you an example. Assuming we are in a certain area and then you see, maybe we are in an office and someone comes in the office and says, hey, good morning. How are you guys doing? Is everything okay? What impression do you have? The person comes to the office and says, good morning. How are you guys? Is everything okay? What comes to mind?
Sir, based on how he's communicating, I might think that, okay, he's probably one of my bosses, but I should have introduced
One of my bosses.
himself.
You
Yes.
get it? And that's how your voice sounded. When you took over, I said, okay, they started speaking, right? So
Yes, sir.
there's a bigger advantage with that when you organize your thoughts very well and then deliver. And you did this for a very short period, and then you left. So you may not have, if you are not somebody who is into presentation and all that, maybe start doing that because your voice pitch is very good, right? It sounds, I mean, commanding. It doesn't sound authoritative, right? It sounded what? Commanding. The same thing I was telling Evans. Right? When you listen to the voice, you know the size of the person. You get it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Very rarely will you hear somebody who is very big or stout with a very tiny voice.
Small one.
Okay, so keep that in mind. What I'm showing to you is not the content of your presentation, but how the presentation was done. Because you can always get it right, right?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Go back, you can always get it right. So let's listen.
I will end here and transfer to the next presenter.
And then let me, this is where the other group, group 3, I applauded them. You see, in presentation, if you're in a group, the transition is very, very important.
Yeah.
The transition is very, very important. And you will see those guys, how they did theirs. Okay?
Yes.
You don't really have to say you end here.
Yes.
You could have said that the next presenter is going to handle XYZ. It only tells whoever is listening that these guys, they understand the slides and they know where they end and they know the transition. That is very, very important.
So when
Okay.
we look at the emergency transport planning model,
And then Ivan comes in again, right? That is Evans, right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. Let's see.
Akofa,
This is where we lost.
security cooperation.
For the de-escalation escalate.
This is who?
Yes, please. Good morning.
This is
Good
Tony.
morning.
Good morning, Tony. Please continue.
So I'm here to talk about
you have 1 minute more.
Early warning indicators.
Who is this?
Sir, please, I'm here.
It's Kusi.
Yes, Kusi. And I say monitoring early warning indicators allowed logistics planners and supply chain operators to respond before the de-escalation escalate. There are certain key indicators to include, such as sudden increase in global oil prices, increase in naval deployment in the Gulf region, and ship rerouting. As my boss said in the early slides, the BAP are.
You see, as your board said, you see, you weaken your team, right? As your boss said, so Evans is your boss, right? Kusi, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. He's my boss.
No, Evans, we are doing presentation. You are getting the same marks. So you are creating the impression that he's the one driving the whole thing, which is that is not cool. That's not cool for right? That is not cool for the team. Your voice is good. And also, I mean, the fact that it doesn't sound like you are reading. You are talking about the issue, then you bring the point in rising global oil price. You don't even state it as it is. You paraphrase, which is very good. Okay? But you don't say your boss. Because then you tell the person who is the reviewer or the lecturer that is he your boss at work?
No, sir.
Are you a military
I
person?
the Environmental Protection Authority.
And so how does he become your boss? Evans, why you scare the guy? You don't use your height to scare people, eh?
Oh, no, sir. No, sir. No, sir. He works with EPA.
Are you also with the EPA?
No, sir. I am with the military, Ghana Forces, and Kusi works with EPA.
Well, you go discipline them sometime. If they call you boss, I don't understand.
That is interagency collaboration.
Intelligence.
So interagency collaboration.
Where you can become a boss.
Yes, sir.
Because the thing they in mind for presentation self way they could take marks self is still the call you boss. It is serious also. Anyway, let's go ahead.
Mile Street. It's one of the key routes with oil tanks. That's where most of the oil tanks pass through. And with the war going on, it's a highly high military zone. So they are very worried about the oil. And using trackers in tracking these signals helps the government and logistics and transport prepare for contingency plans.
Abna, please continue with the...
So to conclude, we have policy recommendations. Our study has shown that geopolitical conflict in the Middle East.
This is still the pharmacist, right?
Yes, sir. Right, show me. Significantly disrupt global logistics network and impact African supply chains. We therefore recommend establishment of strategic fuel reserves, improved regional logistics coordination through the African Union, increased investment in resilient port infrastructure, and development of real-time supply chain monitoring systems. Strengthening transport resilience will help Africa economies better manage global logistics disruptions. So our presentation has come to an end.
Okay, so this is the first one which ended. Let me pick the. So you guys have listened to yourself. How does it feel listening to yourself?
So I think we could have done better if we had rehearsed well. I realized that we were not coordinated well in terms of handing over and how we proceeded. The transition was not smooth.
And I also think I also think because we were the first group to present and we didn't know your style, we also G3 at the point.
I didn't make any comment as to style. And that's why I kept quiet for everyone to finish. If I had
Yes,
made
sir.
comments, so no one had the advantage.
Yes, sir. So, and then because we were the first point, and when it got to a point, you were like 6 minutes more, 1 minute, 3 minutes more, and all those things. So,
we lost focus.
Of it. If I had not said 2 minutes more, 3 minutes more, and all of a sudden I said, you have 1 minute to finish, that one, you even collapse, or?
Yes, sir. I think so.
So Akofa came in to finish the presentation. Let's listen. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Many African countries rely heavily on imported petroleum products through the Middle East. So as the war occurs, possible effects that will happen is higher fuel prices because of the reroute. It will make their journey very long. Due to that, the price of fuel will become very high. The shipping will also delay because of the reroute. And they will be having higher freight costs. Cost of goods, every item we procure, gloves, syringes, IVs, all of them will be imported due to fuel. So because of that, because of fuel increase, prices of all these items, hospital items, such as the gloves, the syringes, the IV fluids will also increase. Inflation from fuel will hit every product that we use in the hospital, which will make the budget very high. National grid will also be unstable due to the fight. Vaccines and incubators will also increase. And generators that we use over there, if there is light out, we will not be able to use them because of the increment of the fuel. Our refrigerators, operations, surgeries will also be hot or price will increase due to the inflation of the fuel because of the war. Evans, please roll up for me small.
Are you done?
That's all for you.
Okay. Yes, sir. Please, I'm done.
Okay, so if this, Akofa, if this is the implication,
Yes, sir.
what remedial measures can be put in place to avert or prevent this problem?
Okay, sir, please, I have mitigations. What procurement must do, or what I can do to reduce exposure? Stockpile critical fuels are supposed to procure ahead in order to prevent the spike of the prices.
But that might be very simplistic. Procuring ahead is premised on the assumption that you have unlimited funds, so you can
Yes, sir.
stock as you have. So within the constraints of resources, what do you do practically? You are constrained with cash. You have this problem. What do you do? And it's not
Diversify of suppliers.
It's not for only Akofa. Yeah, what do you do?
Simply diversity of suppliers. We will not rely only on foreign suppliers. We also have to look for suppliers within the country that we can get the items from.
Yeah, but when you do that, then what happens? If you have different number of suppliers, but you don't have the cash, so what do you do? Because maybe this arrangement for where fuel passes through the Strait of Hormuz, for
Yes, sir.
all you know, you are buying this on credit, right?
Yes, yes.
So
It's
how do
credit purchase.
you now that door is closed, how you said, I mean, looking for strategic suppliers. So what do you do with them practically? What do you do with them? Who else can answer that question, please?
Please, practically, I'll enter into a strategic partnership with them to ease me from going around searching for new suppliers. The ones around me, I'll enter into in agreement with them strategically.
So specifically, what type of agreement? What type of agreement that what? Agreement doesn't solve the problem. Agreement that what? There are various models that you could use.
Yeah, so say I'll use a strategic alliance.
Strategic
But
alliance.
yeah, that one will cover a long term, but in a strategic
So
move.
specifically in the strategic alliance, what will you be doing? What will you be asking? Okay, so I think that for Akofa, I'll hold brief for her. Maybe I'll get a full presentation to be out, and then you are asked to come in and then present. The presentation, Ankasa, if they say come and present in for that one, there's the fear. And then, I mean, coming in to do, and that's why I asked her a number of questions, because I put her on the spot. It was not too cool that she puts the presentation together, took all your slides and everything, and she didn't have the good environment to present. And that's why we had to stop and then come back. So that's actually what happened with I mean, her side of the presentation.
But then
Let's conclude on next person.
I'm sharing my screen, don't worry.
So I'm here to know your flow. You understand? Are you with me?
yes, sir. So please, I'm here.
Okay. So I'm here to know. So, but like I said, in presentation, fluency is very, very important. The way you pitch yourself
Yes, sir.
is extremely important.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I mean, yesterday I was with my Tech Connect team, and somebody was making. They were all talking. When they were talking, I kept quiet for a very long time. When I started talking, then hell broke loose. All right. So everything you are saying, Nyama kese akese na woka, and everybody wanted to listen. But before I came in, they were arguing on top of their voices. But I was listening. So when you drop anything in terms of what comes out of your mouth, it should carry that weight. All right. People should be willing to listen to you.
Yes, sir.
That's very, very important. Let's look at the next group.
Okay.
Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can see your screen.
Okay.
Yes, you can.
Okay, good morning, class.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay. So,
First of all, this group, your slide was not in the presentation mode. Did you realize?
yes,
Okay,
sir.
it was not.
We are group 2.
Nee, share
Yeah.
it on slide mode, slideshow mode, please.
Okay. All right. So, good morning once again. My name is Ni Amate. We are group 2, presenting pre-disaster transport framework for Africa using Ghana as a case study. With me is David Trapani, Adam Skuri, and Tatra Ibrahim. The background of our study. Now, disaster.
So, you realize that you have to wait for like 15 seconds. I don't know what that. Are you there with me?
No.
15 seconds. I don't know what that time was for, because you had only 10 minutes.
Our study focuses on transport system that can be better prepared before disaster occurs, rather than reacting after it occurs. Now, that's our background study. Disaster frequently disrupt transport system across Africa. Events such as floods, infrastructure failure, fuel shortages, and conflict affect logistics operations. When transport systems fails, the delivery of humanitarian aid and agencies supplies is delayed, which worsens the impact of disaster. This is why pre-disaster transport planning is important to ensure preparedness and allow systems to continue functioning.
So it was also good, Ni, that you were not reading from the slides, right? You were just explaining. That is very, very key. But whilst doing that, make sure the flow is there. Your voice pitch is okay. All right. Just that the little breaks in your voice in the presentation is what is creating the problem.
During the crisis, I'll invite my other colleague, David Trapani, to continue.
So that is what you have to avoid. I think I've talked about this. Right?
Yeah,
Mention David will do instead. Okay. In the next.
Okay, thank you, Ni. So we are trying to deal with the problems statement of the study. Many African governments focus on disaster response rather than preparedness. In Ghana, disasters such as floods in Accra, roads, highway like Kumasi Highway, Accra Kumasi Highway routes, and other highways in Ghana. Sometimes the response comes after damage has been already occurred. For instance, during heavy rains in areas like Kaneshi or Dona. Sometimes when it happens like that, because we've not pre-planned our routes, or because we are not prepared, there are so many distractions. Transport networks are often vulnerable to distractions, was same as what I was talking about concerning our routes. Since we've not planned it very well, what happens is that it's been disrupted. And there are also there are also gaps in our coordination. There are limited coordination among logistics agencies that worsens emergency response. Talk of NADMO and Ghana Fire Service, and even the Ghana Police Service. They often operate with limited real-time data sharing. So it really slows the response. So by the time they even get there, there are a lot of damages that occur. A structured planning framework is required to strengthen this resilience. Next. So for our objective is to design pre-disaster transport planning framework that governs the logistics and agencies in Africa or in Ghana. So in response to the challenges, the framework is designed specifically to fit reality like Ghana's transport and logistics system. This objective is to move Ghana from reactive system to prepared and coordinated system. First, this.
Okay, so like I said, you have the voice pitch, which is good. Just the intermittent breaks is what you have to check.
Available so that.
Okay, let me see who else is.
Logistic information and transport.
Brother Tatra, to continue, may occur, or before it occurs, we are able.
International partners. Okay, without much ado, I want to hand over to my colleague.
Yeah. Yes. So, narrate, please.
Okay, Doc.
Please can they narrow it so that we can see the screen?
You narrow it. You can't see the screen.
It's too wide. Okay. I have the slide with me. I can continue.
Yeah, continue.
Class, can you see my screen? Can you see the screen?
Yeah, yes. I'm using my screen. So continue.
Okay. Our framework is built on 5 key points. These include alternative transport routes and strategic fuel reserves, the identification of logistic corridors, and emergency fleet mobilization. And we also look at coordinating with the international partners. These pillars work together to ensure that transportation system remain functional and effective during emergencies.
Six minutes more.
Okay. So the first
Please, who is this? Who is this?
No, that's Adam Scurry.
So, Adams, the flow has a little bit of problem. Your voice pitch is okay. So you have to, are you here? Is Adams here? Is Adams here?
Look, I think he was the one who said he had sent to a private.
Oh, okay. All right. And then let's a practical example, strategic fuel reserves.
Using helicopters.
Let's go back to Let me skip this to the next one. Right?
Yes, sir.
It is actually reflects the growing
System.
Okay, so we move.
Example is when a disaster occurs. Let's say Circle, for instance. Circle, for instance, when there was this disaster, the flood, and then the fire outbreaks. The roles that these people play, the military came in with their naval boats in rescue operations, whilst the Ghana Police Service cordoned the place for security reasons, while National Disaster Management, the NADMO and Co, are looking for the victims. And
who is the one speaking now? Is it still me?
That's Tatra.
That's who?
That's Tatra.
Okay. I
Tatra
mean,
Abraham.
I think you were flowing here, which is very good, right?
transporting them to the hospitals.
Okay. All right. So I'm done with you. The next team, please share your screen.
No question for me.
You are the one doing the presentation. You did most of them. So if you
Okay.
still
Okay.
want a question, if you still want me to ask you a question, I'll ask you.
Doug is okay.
Because it's not fair to ask the lead presenter questions.
I thought maybe you have forgotten about me.
No, I've not forgotten about you. Are doing most of the talking.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
Good morning, Doc, and good morning to my fellow colleagues. Imagine a situation where a single disruption in a major maritime corridor.
So this was what I was talking about. Which group is this? Are the guys here? Are they here? The group members.
Sir, please, they are wrong. It's their leader that is doing the naming ceremony this morning.
Oh, okay. No wonder. The imagination guy.
Yes,
So whilst he was talking about imagination, he was working. Congratulations to him, eh? But this guy just killed it. Just listen to the intro.
The roles that these people play, the military came in.
And good morning to my fellow colleagues.
So what he did was that he didn't greet all of us. So he greeted his colleagues. Did you realize that? Okay, go ahead.
Imagine a situation where a single disruption in a major maritime corridor increases global shipping time by over 2 weeks, doubles transportation costs, and threatens the supply of fuel, food, and essential goods worldwide. This is not just a theoretical something. It actually reflects the growing vulnerability of global maritime logistics systems to geopolitical conflict. I am Emmanuel Kofi.
Do you see what is happening? The intro comes before he even introduced himself to the presentation. The background comes, so you tie the reader's thoughts to that imagination the guy did.
And with me, I have Blessing Inyang.
Then he introduces the other panel members, right? Or presentation members.
Enesina Owusu and Raymond Owusu. Together, we are Group 3 from the MSc Logistics and Transport program.
Tell me if this is not a super introduction. I want to hear your views. Hello.
Oh, yeah,
It's super.
It is, Doctor.
I have learned something from this. So I'm being
Yes,
honest with you.
Yes, sir. It was a good introduction.
Yes, please.
Okay, so, and it makes you feel that it's a teamwork, isn't it? There's actually a teamwork. Now watch.
Today, we shall look at maritime and energy transport mitigation strategies in a global maritime conflict. Next slide. This presentation focuses on assessing the impact of maritime conflict on transportation and energy logistics, and also proposing practical mitigation strategies to ensure supply chain resilience. In this study, we examine a hypothetical conflict affecting critical maritime choke points, such as the Strait of Hormuz, the Red Sea corridor leading to the Suez Canal, and alternative routing. These routes are vital to global trade. For instance, nearly half of global oil shipments pass through the Strait of Hormuz, while the Suez Canal connects Europe, Asia, and Africa. Due to these rising missile attacks and naval confrontations, ships are forced to reroute around the Cape of Good Route. This adds over 3,000 to 3,500 miles, which of course, it increases both transit time and operational cost significantly. The result is a ripple effect across global supply chains, especially in energy transport and trade reliability. Next slide. Now, maritime conflict introduces both physical and digital risk. With the physical risk, vessels face missile attacks, naval confrontations, and piracy attacks. Digitally, there are threats such as cyber attacks on port systems, disruptions to logistics platforms. All these risks increases insurance costs, reduce efficiency, and create uncertainty in global supply chains. Maritime transport carries over 80% of global trade, including critical energy resources like crude oil and gas. Given all this importance, disruptions can lead to shipping delays, increased costs, energy supply instability, wider economic consequences. This highlights the urgent need for effective mitigation strategies. Our study has therefore developed risk frameworks, emergency planning models, and operational strategies to improve maritime resilience. I will now hand over to Blessing Inyang to continue with the next slide.
Thank you, Emmanuel. So I'm taking the impact on African supply chain. The Russia-Ukraine war and conflict around the Red Sea have disrupted global trade routes. First, transit time has increased because ships avoid risky areas and take longer routes. Transport costs have risen due to high fuel price and insurance, making imports more expensive. Risk levels are higher as ship faces potential attacks in conflict zones. Finally, reliability has reduced with delays and uncertainty affecting delivery schedules. Overall, this leads to higher prices, shortage, and economic pressure in countries. The energy logistic crisis. Over 50% oil vessels are supposed to pass the Strait of Hormuz, but due to the crisis, they tend to use the Cape of Good Hope, which increases their delivery day by 10 or more days. And it led to the increment of oil to $108 per barrel. Due to the partial opening of the Strait of Hormuz, the price of crude oil dropped to $98. This shows the clear impact of geopolitical conflict on vessels carrying crude. Please, I would like to hand over to my colleague Ernestina on the key mitigations.
This is where I love what who did this presentation?
Please, Nick, Blessing.
Blessing was mentioning that what the next person is going to do. Do you understand? And even the subject matter. You understand? So follow the transition.
Thank you, Blessings. I will continue with the key mitigation.
And then the person who is taking over thanks the person who hand over. In presentation, if we were scoring for coordination, they would have taken all the marks.
Strategies. In our research, we came up with the findings that alternative shape routing, port coordination, risk sharing, cyber security, maritime congo are the key mitigation strategies in global maritime conflict. Just like the current conflict happening between US and Iran, the world's major oil passes through the Straits of Hormuz, which is closed, making it impossible for vessels to pass through. And the best plan is to reroute through the Cape of Good Hope. Even though transit time will increase, it is safer. Okay, so now looking at the implementation.
Here, there was a break. I actually didn't know what caused this. Whether they were waiting for what orchestrated this?
No,
Hello?
please. My slide wasn't changing.
Okay.
Framework. So I was trying to fix that. We categorize them into three aspects.
You guys have 3 minutes more.
We categorize them into three aspects, which is the short, long, and medium action. So in short term, we are looking at immediate actions such as the rerouting, fast-tracking custom procedures. And in a long term, we are looking at renewable energy integration and permanent emergency framework. And in a medium term, we are looking at port infrastructure upgrades. When it comes to the risk assessment and trade-off, we know every solution comes with a cost. Rerouting increases expenses, convoy requires military resources, and cybersecurity investment is ongoing. But the trade-off is very clear. Higher upfront costs versus the risks of catastrophic supply chain collapses. Therefore, all these strategies are practical test measures that can keep global trade moving even in times of war or disruption. I will allow Raymond to continue.
Thank you, Ernestina. High priority recommendations. Disruption in the Red Sea and Straits of Hormuz, increased delays, transport cost, and shortage.
Please, who is this? Who is this? Is that person on the call now? Who is this?
Raymond Owusu.
I was asking if Raymond was here. Hello? Hello?
Hello.
I was asking if Raymond was here.
No, please say, please. It's
No,
not.
please.
Okay.
Africa is highly vulnerable because of fuel import
Structure and the alternate sources of energy. So I think that so let's look
colleagues.
The next point so that when the okay.
Yes, sir. So I'll be presenting a lot.
You're a Lone Ranger. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, the Lone Ranger here.
Yes, sir.
The Lone Ranger guy, is he here?
Yes, sir. I'm around, sir. Sir, so air transport serves as a backbone of global humanitarian logistics. due to its speed, reliability, and ability to access remote or crisis-affected areas. However, the Middle East, being a strategic aviation hub linking Africa, Europe, and Asia, has become increasingly unstable. This instability introduces systemic risks that threaten not only global aviation networks, but also time-sensitive humanitarian operations. So now let us turn our attention to the key disruptions. The conflict has generated multidimensional disruptions, including airspace closures, cyber attacks.
You remember I told you that you do all. Being a lone ranger, okay, having a very good voice pitch, and also, I mean, going through the slides coherently. I mean, there's nothing that shows that you were reading from somewhere. You understand? To be alone to do that
Yes,
is not easy. I've been a student before, right? So it's not easy.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and that was a plus for you. Are you a military man? Are you a military man?
Yes, I am.
Oh, okay.
Sir. Yes, sir. On aviation infrastructure, increased geopolitical risk, and rising operational costs. These disruptions create a cascading effect across global supply chains, particularly affecting regions like Africa that depend on external logistics networks. Now, impact on air transport. The implications for international air transport are profound. Airlines are forced to reroute flights, leading to longer distances.
This was group 4, right? Was this group 4?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right.
Increased fuel consumption, higher operational costs, and reduced scheduling efficiency. This situation reflects what we describe as network disruptions effect, where a localized conflict produces global aviation consequences. So now let's turn our attention to the impact on humanitarian logistics. The implications for international airports are profound. For humanitarian logistics, the consequences are even more critical. Delays in transporting medical supplies, vaccines, and relief materials can directly impact survival rates. Additionally, restricted air access complicates the evacuation of civilians and injured personnel, thereby intensifying humanitarian crisis. Now, airspace closure challenges. Airspace closure results in restricted corridors, congestion in alternative routes, and increased competition for safe airspace. This leads to inefficiencies and highlights the vulnerability of global aviation systems to geopolitical shocks. So let's now turn our attention to the rerouting strategies. To mitigate these risks, alternative air corridors must be strategically identified. These include the Northern Corridor via Turkey, and the Mediterranean, and the Southern Corridor via East Africa and the Indian Ocean. Importantly, real-time coordination with the International Civil Aviation Organization is essential for dynamic risk assessment and route optimization. So now let's look at the humanitarian cargo challenges. Humanitarian cargo operations face constraints such as limited aircraft availability, fuel shortages, and increased transit times. These challenges reduces the effectiveness of rapid response mechanisms in emergency situations. So let's now turn our attention to cargo strategies. To address this, I propose the establishment of humanitarian air bridges, which function as dedicated logistics corridors. Additionally, pre-positioning of relief supplies and the use of military strategic airlift capabilities can significantly enhance response efficiency. Now, a look at the medevac challenges. Medical evacuation operations encounter limited safe routes, airport congestion, and shortages of specialized aircraft. These factors delay critical life-saving interventions. Then let's look at the strategies. Strategic solutions include dedicated medical air corridors, conversion of passenger aircraft for evacuation, and the development of a regional medevac network, which is anchored by.
So I think that your comment has been made. No, group 4 is, what's your name?
Emmanuel Osudia.
Yours is good 4, but I've seen another slide. Another slide being shared. So I know yours is good 4.
So it is now on. It's now not
No.
on.
So take yours off. You are done.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
There was a new another slide being shared.
Yes, sir.
This is group 5.
Yeah, this is group 5. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Who are your members? Are they all here?
Yes, please.
Okay, proceed.
Yeah, good morning. Yeah, I'm Isaac Nunu. Yeah, we are group 5. We are
Hello,
presented
Ive.
on. Yeah, hello.
Okay. So you continue.
Okay.
I'm here though.
We are taking. Okay. We are presenting on emergency logistics management.
All right.
Okay. I'm here with. Hello. Hello, please. Can you hear me?
Yes. Thank you.
Hello,
Good
sir.
introduction.
Yeah, Isaac, we can hear you.
Okay. I have with me emergency procurement officer Krista Apia, emergency procurement port operations Isaac Nunu, myself. I have.
Yeah, group 5. You guys saw the confusion. Are you there? Hello. Group 5, are you there?
Yes, sir, we are here.
You saw the confusion.
Yes, our network wasn't helping us.
Okay.
All right, sir.
Please, when you are coming to do these things, consult your ancestors and ask them that they should leave you alone. They cannot wait till
Yes, sir.
this,
Yes, sir.
and they can't disturb your network.
Okay, sir. Next time we'll call a vision, sir.
Logistics officer, medical distribution.
Okay, so yeah, that's right.
Hello.
Hi, we are here. We are listening.
I have with me fleet deployment officer Michael Dati.
It's Cecil.
Okay.
Cecil.
It's Cecil Dati, rather. Okay.
Yes.
And Michael Dati. Okay. All right. Our own has to be with the integration of emergency logistics and supply during emergencies. Let me give you a brief overview of what our group is looking at. we are the main architect of the emergency situation when it comes to solving issues. Assuming there's an emergency right now, how prepared, how resilient are we to solve these issues? So, emergency procurement officer, its own has to do the rapid sourcing and supply activation. And the port operations has to do with the international aid clearance and handling. I also have to mean the medical distribution. You can't hear me? Can you hear me, please?
We can hear you.
Can you hear me, please?
Yes, please.
Please, we
Can
can
you go
hear
on?
you.
Okay. Okay. I'm between medical distribution officer, Cecil Edati, and freight deployment officer, Michael Dakon. So I'll hand over to Michael Dakon to take us through how resilient he is in terms of emergencies and how is he going to, supply his fleet to, in affected areas. Thank you. So, Emmanuel Dakon. Hello.
And all this while the time was running. So these guys did not put in any mitigation measures so that when it happens this way, what do we do?
Hello.
2 minutes gone.
Hello, Emmanuel. Michael. Is Michael on the line?
Michael.
Okay. Let me take
I'm
a
here.
mic.
My machine just left. So
Yeah. So
I'm using
okay.
somebody
The
else's
area.
phone.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So emergency.
Okay, Cecil.
Okay, go to the first one. The first slide. Go to the first slide, please.
Yeah.
Go to the first slide. Yes.
All these things, they happen for the presentation inside though. Guys, are you seeing it? Are you there?
Sir, we are here, sir.
Sir, please, we are here.
Are you seeing it?
Yes, sir. Michael's network has always been a barrier. We are
Yes,
sorry.
sir.
Michael's. Hello.
Hello, sir.
Is that Michael's what?
Network has always been a barrier. We are sorry, sir.
It has always been a barrier. Hey,
We are working on it, sir.
really?
Yeah, we are working on it.
His network has always been a barrier.
Yes.
Okay. Or is it because of where he stays?
It can be.
No, I'm asking.
Okay, so we are talking about emergency logistics management, a comprehensive strategy for deployment and distribution of critical resources during humanitarian crisis. So our goal is simple. We are actually here to systematically coordinate situation. Now, we are actually here to get the right vehicles to the right locations at the right time, maximizing responsive efficiency while keeping operational costs and response time very low. Now, in ensuring that fleet management is well coordinated during emergency situation, we have to check fleet composition. Now, our emergency fleet includes 3 key vehicle types, each with a specific mission. Now we talk about trucks. The trucks that has to do with heavy-duty cargo vehicles used for bulk fuel or equipment transport, and supply distribution across the affected regions. Now, after truck, we want to talk about ambulance. Now, ambulances has to carry medical emergency, those are the medical emergency vehicles equipped for patient transport, emergency medical care, and response to health crisis. Now, the third one, that is for relief vans. They are smaller and agile, and they handle last mile distribution, community outreach, targeted relief, congested areas. Now, these are the three key vehicle types we need during fleet composition when we are putting together a fleet towards an emergency situation. We talk about trucks, ambulances, and relief vans. Now, the second thing to consider is to be strategic in allocating these emergency trucks. Now, we have to employ 4 core strategies to manage the fleet effectively during disasters. Now, when we talk about strategy, we are actually now in the engine room where we have to be pre-positioning strategy, thinking about something before even emergency happens. So we say that we deploy vehicles in high-risk zone before even disaster strike. Now, this enables immediate response without waiting for distance reinforcement, cutting response time, and boosting operational readiness. Now, a typical example could be a very dense populated area like Mamobi or Nima. Now, an area like that should have a police station, should have an ambulance service operational there, and as well as, in fact, all of the emergency agencies.
So you see that the fluency was there, but they had a big issue, with organization.
Gadget. Starting with one.
Come again.
Mute one of your gadgets, either your mobile phone or your laptop.
All the presentation is
Okay, I'll take it from
We don't
emergency.
have time, so if you can really do fast for us, please.
Emergency procurement is a critical part of humanitarian logistics because during disasters, organizations must quickly obtain essential supplies like food, medicine, and shelter materials. Unlike normal procurement, the focus here is speed, flexibility, and reliability, not just cost. Emergency procurement refers to the rapid sourcing and purchasing of goods and services during crisis situations. In normal conditions, procurement involves long processes such as tendering, supply evaluation, and negotiation. However, in emergencies, these steps are shortened or bypassed to save time. Example, during an epidemic outbreak, waiting weeks to approve supplies could cost lives. So decisions must be made within hours or days. Key approaches in emergencies. Fast-track sourcing. Approval processes are simplified to reduce delays. Instead of multiple approvals, only essential checks are done. Purchasing relief items within 24 to 48 hours instead of weeks. Pre-qualified supplies. Organizations maintain a list of trusted suppliers already vetted before disaster occurs. This allows immediate purchasing without re-evaluating supplies. Framework agreement. These are pre-negotiated contracts within suppliers. When disasters strike,
So, good one there with the fluency. And yet, the coordination was a problem.
organizations activate this agreement instantly without new negotiations. Local versus international sourcing decision. A key decision in emergency procurement is choosing between local and international suppliers. Local suppliers, fast delivery, lower transport, better understanding of local needs, but may have limited capacity. International suppliers provide large quantities and specialized goods, but slower due to shipping and custom delays.
2
So in
minutes.
all, the best strategy is to balance both depending on urgency and availability. So in conclusion, emergency procurement is about acting fast, making smart sourcing decisions, and working with reliable suppliers. Without it, operations would face delays, shortages, and increased sufferings. Thank you. Cecil.
Yeah, so medical logistics, it simply means how hospitals and emergency teams move and manage medical supplies so that they can reach the patients at the right time, at the right place, in the right condition. So we move down.
So, this group, can you share some of the challenges you had that led to this so we can learn from it? Hello?
Hi, sir.
We just want to learn, so just be honest with us.
Yes. For me personally, I think I had a challenge with my connection and internet as well. So I think right after I was being introduced to present, I had a challenge with my connection. So I had to use somebody else's machine to present. So that is my personal challenge.
What else?
Sometimes when the starting is not on point, it affects everyone. So we are sorry, sir.
Oh, you don't need to be sorry. We just want to learn.
Yeah, we'll do better next time.
Okay, I think this is the last group.
Okay, good morning, team. Please, we
Good
are okay, so let me begin. Okay, so we are group 5, group 6. And today we are here to present our analysis is on how digital technologies can enhance pre-disaster transport planning in geopolitical conflicts scenarios, particularly focusing on
and the difference is I find out
in the Middle
that
and Africa. So with our group 6, I'm in the person of Dr. So when it comes to our executive, when it comes
complain then obi for here complain with the other blog so
somebody's mic was on, right?
Obi akọ report on direct with me na wamba and be who omo any omanka omo di omo atem sir me fine. So far as got an end that
what is happening?
hello, sorry, I had a.
Can you imagine that during presentation, some people's mic were open? Did you hear that?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
That person will do so. I know what mention them. It get hard power. It be champion. When you are being examined.
Sorry, so I had to. I'm sorry, please. So here, our executive summary: escalating the Middle East conflict threatens our global transport system, particularly strategic choke points like the Straits of Hormuz and the Red Sea route. African nations heavily dependent on these corridors for fuel, medical supplies, and humanitarian logistics face heightened vulnerability. So then, digital technologies such as geographical information system mapping, real-time tracking, early warning systems, and integrated data platform can significantly enhance pre-disaster transport planning and resilience. That's our executive summary. So here, I would want to just talk more about when it comes to Strait of Hormuz. So the Strait of Hormuz is one of the global energy system. So we have a flow of oil flow of around 20 to 21 million barrels per day that passes through the Strait of Hormuz. We have over 25% of the global seaborne oil trade, 20% of around total global oil consumption. So because of a large amount of the our energy supplies passes through that particular point. So we want to talk about the scenario context that in the Middle East. So we have maritime choke point, that is the Strait of Hormuz, that handles about 20% of our global oil. So and then some of the okay, so we have the airspace closures, conflict zones forces, the cargo aviation rerouting, increasing transit times and operational costs. And then we also have some of the challenges as cyber attacks. Logistics systems are targeted by some of the that's ransomware, malware, and then denial of service attacks. So as a result of that, during the conflict, those are some of the challenges that were encountered. And then war risk premium escalate transport costs to multiples of standard rates. So we move to the critical transport risk when it comes to what is happening in the Middle East. We have route distractions. That's closure of strategic corridor forces. And then as a result of that, other alternative routes need to be used, which increases fuel costs. We have supply chain delays, port congestion, vessel rerouting, reduced shipping frequency creates cascading delays in delivery of goods and services. We have cybersecurity threats, attacks on port systems and fleet tracking platforms, airspace restrictions, institutional fragmentation. Okay, so from here, I think the next. Okay, so Fatima will continue from here. I'll come in later when she's done. Thank you. Fatima, please, you can continue from here. Yeah.
Good morning, class.
Good morning. You can continue. You can continue.
Oh, okay. So I'll take it from the GIS.
You have 5 minutes more.
Play key role by mapping conflict zone and its overlapping terms with trade route. This allows the logistics plan to identify high risks and plan alternative routes in advance. However, its effectiveness depends on data availability and institutional capacity. Yeah, that's so. Let's move to the real time tracking use GPS and its settlement system. Yeah, thank you. It allow quick routing during
So when it comes to the real-time tracking and early warning signals, what happens is it enables us consider we are able to monitor movements of various cargo, and then it gives us real-time information. That is using the Internet of Service sensors on containers and then vehicles. And then we also have the satellite surveillance, wide area monitoring of vehicle movements, weather systems, and then infrastructure damage of comprehensive situational awareness. So when it comes to the geographical information systems, it enables us to identify high-risk corridors and choke points. And then it enables us to prioritize infrastructure reinforcement, and then giving us an alternative way of routing. So a clear example when it comes to the role of
So you guys saw the problem, right? Hello?
Yes, dog.
Yes,
Saw
sir.
the
Yes, sir.
problem. Reheard, I mean, overtime. Reason is that as the first person, okay, so we talked about this. All right, so if you have any comments to make, let me hear the comments.
Hello, sir.
The Lone Ranger was in which group? Group 3 or 4?
4, sir.
The Lone Ranger was group 4?
Yes, sir.
Group 3 is the guys who
The imagining man.
The what?
The imagining man.
The imagining man. Very good. Now, henceforth, that's how we call. That's how we call them. The imagining man.
Yes, sir.
Prof, you didn't finish playing the last audio to the answer.
Which one? Which audio?
The last group. I think I came in last before you said.
Oh, you did.
Time up.
You did?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Lawrence Budu.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Was it on the key challenges?
No, sir. It was the next slide. Yes, sir.
Coordinating redundancy.
Sir.
Which area?
So I think from here, sir.
Here. This place?
No, sir. Below the GI, sir.
So let's play from here.
advanced. However, its effectiveness depends on data availability
Getting to the
and
latter part. Getting to the latter part.
institutional capacity. Yeah, that's so. Let's move to the real time tracking use GPS and its settlement system. Yeah, thank you. It allow quick routing during
So when it comes to the real-time tracking and early warning signals, what happens is it enables us consider we are able to monitor movements of various cargo, and then it gives us real-time information. That is using the Internet of Service sensors on containers and then vehicles. And then we also have the satellite surveillance, wide area monitoring of vehicle movements, weather systems, and then infrastructure damage of comprehensive situational awareness. So when it comes to the geographical information systems, it enables us to identify high-risk corridors and choke points. And then it enables us to prioritize infrastructure reinforcement, and then giving us an alternative way of routing. So a clear example when it comes to the role of the geographical information system is a clear example is the Red Sea and the Strait of Hormuz crisis. Shipping companies and governments use the GIS combined with satellite intelligence to access the missile threat zones linked to by the groups. So, but as a result of that, they were able to divert the movement of most of the vessels around the Cape of Good Hope, despite the higher cost in transit times. So we have the early warning signs, of which I have explained. So we have AI-driven decision support. That is, with the AI-driven support, we are able to route optimization. That is, we are able to identify an alternative route that will be less expensive. So AI algorithms analyzes the fuel cost, congestion, weather, and security risk to recommend optimal route in real time. Scenario simulation. So Red Sea closure ports, probability of fuel price doubling to pre-approved contingency.
They are far behind when it comes to these things. And
Is that
as
you now?
transport system become more
Is that you
digital,
speaking?
they
The guy who was who raised the question. Is that you speaking?
Yes, sir.
become more vulnerable as well. And we know that logistics has gone past just warehousing and then transportation. And threats include ransomware attacks, data breaches, system hijacking. And this means that cybersecurity must be treated as a core logistics priority, not just an IT issue. And moving on to data sovereignty concerns. So is this trust deficit potential? And with this, we realize that even with the war in Iran, US, and Israel, because Iran for some period were sharing data with other regional people, regional countries, US later on were able to use these things, and then they to track their moves and then stop most of their counterattacks. And so Iran later on decided to strike these strategic areas whereby they destroyed most of the data centers in United Arab Emirates and Bahrain, Israel, and Qatar, including UAE.
Your time is up.
Okay. So the recommendations will be for us to adopt the GIS, the geographical information system driven systems to be used, and the real-time tracking of the infrastructure. We have to deploy the GPS, the Internet of Things sensors, and blockchain records, and then develop integrated early warning systems to strengthen or for us to be notified. Doc, please, I have more to explain, but then let me just stop sharing.
All right, so let's start from your group. You look very unorganized. Very, very unorganized. And that is problematic. Wasted a lot of time. It practically shows that you didn't do any rehearsal. And if you did, you had no time. Right?
So we did, but then I think the earlier this thing took more.
Is that earlier what?
I think the delay came from the.
So I get the drift. The problem, I think I've mentioned the issue of the flow in the presentation. And of course, you also had the flow, among others. But one thing stands true, that you guys were not organized. And that could have a serious implication. Do you understand? Moving forward. So these things must be checked seriously. So I'm going to show you this is just for the presentation. You are going to present the presentation is 60%, and then the written draft report, which I asked you to do, that will be 40%. And put together it to give you 100%. We strike the 40% from it. That is going to be what you get for your IA. So that's what you see on the screen. I'm going to also give a percentage for attendance so that anyone who falls below, we don't encourage people to fail. So that's what you have. Have you seen the screen? I'll send it to you. Hello?
Sir, we can hear you, sir.
Sir, please, we can hear you.
Oh, we can hear you.
Some people see them at home, they know happy. So they know they see. They know.
I hear you.
Okay, so I need your report next week. Your written report, if you look at the requirement, is there. I've given you how the report should be presented. Written report is here. Have you seen it? It's in your how it should be presented as part of the assignment pre-FICA. The length should be 10 pages. That's the maximum. Don't excluding references. Don't go beyond that. If you do a good work, you could get 35, 36, 37, 38. It depends. You have the tools to do that. Okay. So that is it. Now, if you have any question, you can ask, and let me give my final. If you have any question, you can ask. Hello. Hey.
Hello, sir. We are on, sir.
Yeah, we are here.
Yeah. Please say something.
Doc, please, how are we submitting it? Are we sending it to
No,
the report, I mean?
no, the report, send it to Akofa. Akofa will send it to me.
Okay, thank you.
Sir, please, when are we supposed to submit the report?
Next week.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
This is our 5th or 6th meeting.
Sir, please.
When did we start? We have 12 weeks. When did we start?
Mm,
22nd. 22nd of February.
22nd February, sir.
And then March is gone. So March had how many weeks? March had 5 Sundays. We missed 2, but one was for the Easter, and the other one was
Yes.
no, but it doesn't really mean anything. So let me see. 22nd, is that 22nd
Yes, sir.
what? February. So
Yes,
22nd
sir.
February. So
I think these
1,
are
2,
6
2,
or
3,
7
4, 5,
meetings.
6. Today
Okay.
7, 8, 9. We've met 9 times though.
Yes.
Oh, okay, sir.
Yes, please.
So now we are going to have our exams. But the exams is going to be a presentation. And each and everyone is going to do an independent work. So next week, I'm going to give you the case studies.
Yes, sir.
And I'm going to teach you how to collect data to achieve that. Okay? There's
Yes,
data
sir.
from Ghana Statistical Service and all that. You are taking a real problem, do you understand, in your locality, in the area of that requires emergency transportation, tools or strategies to solve. So for instance, it might not be your area, it might be a different area, but I don't want it to be hypothetical. So if you have issues with when it rains at your place, there's flooding, you can pick that
Cloud.
one. There's flooding, you can pick that one
Yes.
as a case study.
Atala.
And then you pick all the data. I'm going to walk you through how to do that. And then we schedule for a physical meeting where you do your presentation, right? That will be your exams.
Yes, sir.
I don't have the time to put you in the classroom to answer what is and then discuss and all those nonsense. I don't have the time, right? So
Yes,
you are
sir.
really going to solve a real problem once you're able to offer practical. And when you are done with that, we will publish what you have done in Business and Financial Times and My Joy Online. Every student is going to do that, right? I'm going to get the publishers
Yes, sir.
to do, and then we put all together. The guy is going to give us a discount so that we can put it out there. So you can say that at the end of the day, this is the benefit that you accrued from this subject that you studied, emergency transportation, and not some script somewhere that will not work. So this one, you can do a group work, help yourself. It is the final presentation I'm interested in, and I'm going to ask you questions how the tools that you use and the strength of the tools and all that. But you have a platform that can help you achieve all of this. Okay? So that's what we're going to do for you.
Yes, sir.
So what it means is that when we meet next week, and I take you through that, you'll be given about 3 weeks to prepare for your exams. And then we schedule the day for Sunday like this, or even we can make it on Saturday, and then the whole day for the presentation. I'll give you the outline for the presentation. You need to dress very well because I'm going to give marks for presentation and shotoing. But you know shoto, dressing. I go,
Yes, sir.
please, the last time I did this with some students, I go talk dressing. People go borrow coat for this thing where the tax self day in body. They don't want here. They finish with the return. I beg you, make no go If says somebody they wear shoe, the shoe no tag and a bomb or say on tape or the presentation, you are the Oma the Aqua. So please, but I'm going to you have to dress like a corporate person and then do the presentation. We'll record it, and that will be evidence of our what? Our presentation. So just take note of that. This one will not be a group work, it will be you yourself. So you start practicing, right? And the presentation is just 10 minutes. That is for the period of the exams, 10 minutes. Finish the presentation, you are done. Do you have any questions?
No, sir. We're on standby.
Akofa, do you have anything to say? Do you have any question? Otherwise,
No, sir.
okay. So you guys have a good morning and well done. So let's see what that one also brings us. Which the
Thank you,
approach we
sir.
have taken, no one is going to fail. Even if the person himself,
Yes, sir.
if he foresee of one person will fail, he will not, that person will not fail. Because you have been covered by your group. And unless your own presentation, you say you will not show up. All right, or you will not cap. And if even you say you will not cap, if you are should be a barber shop, then I show up in that classroom or you go do the presentation. So that is it. All right.
Thank you very much, sir.
Later. Bye.
Yes, sir. Enjoy your day, sir.
Thank you, sir.